Clair Obscur Expedition 33 launching surprisingly same month as South of Midnight. Almost 2 weeks, a little more than 2 weeks after. So April 24th, 2025 is when Expedition 33 is dropping. All right. And obviously, immediately you look at this game and it's like, holy shit, how is this their first game, by the way?
Yeah.
The studio's first game. Look at how stunning. I mean, this is what I'm talking about with, just the attention to detail of trying to make something that looks amazing, right? They're nailing it. They're stunning, right? So, this game's dropping on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox app for Windows PC, and you play it day one with Game Pass. Now, let me say something just to show you how this shit is not all fun and game and all friendly shit. It says next to that, see developer website for other platforms. So you see how they've already said it, okay, for Doom, right? For Doom, they wrote PlayStation 5, right? But when it came to this game, they don't mention PlayStation 5. They said, if you want to find out where else it is, go look. Like, do you see how, like, this shit is not friendly?
No.
Like, do you understand that? Like, do you see it's not friendly, right?
No.
It's not them saying, "Oh, let's share."
We're
it's no, I'm
kumbaya
gonna
now.
take what you have, and if
You
we don't have to mention you, we won't.
Exactly. You don't bring someone to their knees and then mercy. No, that's not how it works. Not after everything that's happened with PlayStation, everything they've done, their
Right.
ways. If it were up to them, Xbox would be dead. That's the reality of it. And listen, for as much as people want to say whatever it is that they want to say, it's a lot worse than a death to keep them there and watch how Xbox puts some of their games on their platform, and it's just killing it and making money off of it. Their entire freaking their business model was to figure out how they can keep games from Xbox.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And look at them now.
Facts. All right, let me read this. So it says, we visited Montpellier, France, home of Sandfall Interactive, as they developed their first game, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This turn-based RPG is set in a fantasy version of late 19th century France, where the world is facing an existential threat 1 year at a time. The developers shared a deeper look at the game's innovative mechanics, such as the reactive turn-based system and the unique art direction that brings the game's world to life. We even got a first look at Expedition 33's expansive overworld map. As the coup de grace, Sandfall Interactive confirmed the game's release date. Our journey to stop the Paintress begins April 24th. For more on the team's creative vision and deep customization options, we got more here on Xbox Wire. Again, whole different article that they have. But yeah, man, I mean, look, this is from the beginning. When we first saw this, right, it came, it was a trailer at one of their last shows. I forget where it was, but man, did it look stunning right off the rip, right? Game Pass day one, we were all hyped for it. And that's really the start of it, right? Like, it's like, man, this looks stunning, looks unique. I'm not normally a turn-based, like a turn-based type of RPG type dude. I'm typically not. I have played and like games that do that, but it's very few and far between. Like, I just don't like it in general. But this game looks unique. It looks fresh. It looks different. It looks like it's pushing it in a different way, right? And I mean, frankly, that's what I want, right? I want them to go and push things forward, right? Do something that we kind of are familiar with, so we understand the concept of what this is, but surprise us and dazzle us with something new and fresh, right? And I feel like that's what this screams to me. It screams they're doing a story that, for me, like, JRPGs just don't like. There's something about JRPGs for me personally that make it difficult to connect with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a little over dramatic sometimes, or I don't know. There's just some things about them that I just don't click with me. How they talk, maybe. Um, Everything's very dramatic in my mind when I'm reading or listening to that stuff. But here, it feels like it's a grounded story, right? Like, I mean, not grounded, like not. It has supernatural, obviously, but the way it's delivered, right? It just feels right to me. And again, the beauty is, right, you look at this and you say, man, that's intriguing. Wow, that's interesting. I wonder how that's going to come out. You don't have to wonder. You got Game Pass, the game drops, you click install, you click play, you're in, right? If it don't work, it don't work. You keep it moving, no harm, no foul, right? You didn't drop 60, 70, whatever this is going to cost to, take a chance, right? To see how it's going to work, right? And that's the big deal for me. I got more amped for this game after seeing this. I love the extra story components they added to it, where you really got to see some more of the acting. It's still playful as well, so it's not just like this dreary story. So you got to see some of that as well. So I'm all in. I'm very, very excited to play this.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think?
So I want to go real quick to Gone Griffin, to your point, CMoney. Hold on real quick. He says JRPGs are very high school drama, CMoney. So this in its,
I mean, yeah.
This is the thing. They did make it a point to bring up, that the characters, these are older characters, right? 33 years old. And, the depth of like feeling that you get from them, though, it's captivating. The way that just like, almost like you can see the heartbreak in their faces. Those moments are just absolutely stunning. He's like, I believe that relationship, we don't know that much yet. I can't wait to like kind of dive into the texture of the relationships and see how deep they're going to go ahead and take it. But you do see that moment when she kind of vanishes, and it's just like you see his face and you just capture like all those feelings you kind of feel for him just by seeing his expression. It goes so deep, and graphically it looks beautiful. Again, you said it, CMoney, and I cannot stress the fact that enough. This is their first game, so it looks freaking amazing. And the one thing I would say is that today I did find that there is a lightness to it. Some of the characters, we heard some funny, and we heard the music. And the music, I felt such a disconnect. I'm like, what is this hyped up music with what we've seen so far of this game? And it's like, that does not go together. Do not try to pair it, right? So it seems like we're going to get a lot more that we haven't been exposed to, and we just got like a little taste of today. So hopefully the music is going to be according to the moments, and it'll kind of gel well, because it's kind of like there's nothing better than when you hear music that you almost can feel like it's not even there, but you can't go without. It's so perfectly paired. So I hope it doesn't lack in that way, because the game just it looks amazing. And again, the story seems like it's gonna be something else. It's unique for sure.
Facts. What do you think, Faro, as the Final Fantasy lover here?
Yes.
How does
this game excites me deeply. I think this game also has Game of the Year potential. I think if this game does win Game of the Year, it's going to be off of the strength of its character depth and the interpersonal relationships. It seems to be a very strong theme of this title from what I've seen so far. And just dealing with the fact that like all these characters are fighting against time and a literal enemy at the same time. Yeah, this game is gorgeous, and I think it does a lot to challenge some of the challenges that some of these larger third-party developers have said that they've had, giving us an open map and things like that, for someone to come up with their first game and be able to give you an open world map from the jump, where other Square Enix. They've only been able to give you zones and not really give you a full open world consistently. So I think this game does a lot that challenges industry standards. I love I love the setting. I love the graphics. I love that they have taken turn-based combat and kind of put a fresh spin on it. Me myself, I'm not the biggest fan of turn-based combat, even though I am a fan of JRPGs. I feel like turn-based combat in general is just based on the limitations that they had when they started the genre. Back then there was only so much you could do on a platform. You were limited, by the capabilities of it. So you ended up creating a turn-based system. But it looks like they have a fresh spin on it, and it looks gorgeous. Even like the damage points when they pop up on the screen, it has a fresh feel to it. Feels good. So I really can't wait to get my hands on this game.
Dope. Yeah, I feel you, man. I think this is going to be a big thing. I think I think ultimately this game is going to kind of sink or swim on the in betweens.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
like the story cinematics, fucking phenomenal. I can't see that failing at a certain point. I feel like they nailed that. The voice acting, all that shit, top notch. The story itself seems dope as fuck, right? Like the
Mhm.
idea of what the story
Absolutely
is dope as
unique.
fuck.
Yes. I
They
love
have all
it.
these characters though that that's the only place I could see these pitfalls where they have like these like that big fluffy thing that
Yes.
goes around, that the monkey thing, right?
Mhm.
Comedy is hard to do. So like when you have these things in there and it's like they're there to kind of alleviate the tension. Sometimes that could work out great. Sometimes it could be annoying.
Absolutely.
And then those moments in between the world, like they show all this stuff and it looks super crazy, right? But then they show like walking through the town and it looks a little more generic, right? It doesn't look as
Impressive.
crazy. I mean, they did a deep dive. They showed you that what their plan was for each part. And I'm not saying they look bad. I'm just saying that like those will be the places where it can fall apart, right? It's
Well,
how
yes,
much time
because
are you spent on those places, and if they're not that great versus how much you are doing all the cool shit that you like, right?
yes, that's the thing, right? Like you said, the in betweens, how much time you're spending there, but also like you brought up such a great point. The transitions for this game, because it seems as though they're trying to balance and kind of give you a palate cleanse with the love and the grief and the joy, right? The funniness and the sadness that you're going to go through. It seems like they're going to take you on a bit of a roller coaster, and those transitions and how you kind of go from one to the other, they can either be a palate cleanse and just bring you right back into the story, or it could be kind of like a moment that feels like you're just being pulled away and drawn out, and you can lose the attention to what's really happening, and it can kind of disconnect you from the game. So again, it has my attention. It's had for a while. I have a lot of quite a bit of like question marks after seeing a bit more of it. So I have some questions. It's just right around the corner too. So I'm not sure that we're going to see much more of it before the game actually releases. The beauty of it for us, again, it goes into Game Pass. If it is true to what we're expecting from it, then, it's a banger. If it's not, then it's as easy as on.
Facts.
Yeah, I think my only concern with this game, and it's a concern that I have with like every RPG, is how much does the extra stuff pull me out from the narrative? Like,
Mhm.
like I don't
Exactly.
need a ton. Like this is like I love how this game looks. I love the aesthetic and everything. I just don't want there to be so much side quest that it pulls me out of the narrative, and then I have to find myself getting back into it because it does feel like it's going to be a very powerful story.
Yes, I agree.
And the
100%.
question is it can you just not choose to do those side quests?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that
Can you just
too.
keep it moving if you're not feeling them right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
kind of straight line the story, right? Like,
Yeah.
what if you don't want to go ahead and kind of pull away from that, or you don't want to do certain things? How much freedom are they going to give you as a player to go ahead and kind of play it in the way that you're going to enjoy it? For
Agreed.
sure. That will
100%.
dictate a lot.
Agreed 100%.